Evening, Mr. Blackburn.
Oh, hello, Steve. Oh, dear, it's hardly worth it. Just a small one. Bloody train, and it's raining.
A small one?
Oh, you're right. Won't take any longer. May as well. Better make it quick. Tell you what, make it 2. It'll save time.
2 more, you mean?
Oh, now, look here. I've got this. Yes, make it 2.
They should have called in the troops. I mean, how on earth can you run a country without law and order? You can't just give in to them like that. I mean, a government's meant to govern. That's what they were elected to do. This is a democracy, after all.
But that means nothing.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
So you were saying that if the people elect a government, that government should have the power to do whatever they want?
Yes, it's for the good of the country.
The country?
So say we elected a communist government. You go along with whatever they wanted to do?
But we wouldn't.
We wouldn't, you see.
You've just missed my point.
No, I haven't.
No, he hasn't. I'm sorry, he hasn't. You haven't missed his point. No.
You have. You're not a Democrat at all. You'd only allow the government to do what they wanted as long as they did what you wanted.
That's an extreme case.
What is?
Well, talking about a communist government here, I mean, they'd never get in.
But what if they did?
What if they did? Sorry, what if they did?
Ronnie, give us a hand, yes?
I'll go with you in a moment.
Yes, well, they wouldn't. The question doesn't arise.
It does. I just paused it. You were saying a government should govern. Just supposing, by some freak, we elected a communist government. Would you still say they should be allowed to govern?
That's not an argument.
It is.
No, it isn't.
It is, isn't it?
What? Sorry, what isn't it? Sorry.
Look, Ron, he said a government should govern. Fair enough? And I suggested that if he had a government he didn't agree with, he wouldn't say the same thing.
You said that?
Yes. I said, for instance, if we had a communist government, would you say they should govern?
Yes, you did say that. You did say that. That is true. He did say that.
So you wouldn't stand for democracy
No.
if it resulted in communism?
No.
So where's your democracy?
But that's not a fair argument. Listen, I fought in the last war against the aggression of fascism.
Fascism?
Now, you're trying to tell me that I don't believe in democracy because I wouldn't agree with a fascist government.
Yes.
What?
Would you agree to a fascist government?
No.
Well, then you don't believe in democracy.
Well, I never said I did. You're the one who claims to be the Democrat. Look, admit it, you're on the conservative side, I'm on the socialist side. But what we both basically believe in is a benign oligarchy. That's right, isn't it?
A benign...
Oligarchy. We are ruled by a hopefully well-meaning few, but I mean, there are only 6 or 7 people who really make any decisions, aren't there?
Yes.
Oligarchy.
Exactly.
Ronnie, please give us a hand.
Laura, dear, we're talking seriously here.
So am I.
Bless her heart. She knows nothing about politics, you know. A right wing does not know what a left wing's doing. If I told her you were a Moist, she wouldn't know what I was talking about.
And neither would I.
No. No, well, what I mean is, now, look, democracy. What is it? A word bandied about. All very well, but does it work?
Well, nobody's ever given it a chance.
Well, that's what I think.
Think of what?
What you just said.
Oh, you agree with me?
Well,
What do you think, Ronnie?
well, I've always said, and Laura will bear me out with this, it's very, very easy for people to talk about democracy, but there's, there's,
Well, what do you mean?
What? Well, I mean, there's your benign, and there's, you know, the parrot thing. The
Parrot?
No, not parrot thing. What not parrot? No, what are you talking about parrot for? Who said parrot? No, not parrot. Not parrot. Please. You're introducing red herrings now. No, there's the benign poly thing.
Polythene.
No, not poly. Benign poly.
Oh, you mean oligarchy?
That's it. That's what I'm saying. the benign oligarchy. That's what I'm saying. That is it, isn't it? In a nutshell.
What in a nutshell?
Well, look. On the one hand, you've got fascists. No. Right out. No. On the opposite end, you've got the very opposite. And right down the middle, you've got your oligarchists. Democracy round the outside, you see? It's a very complex business, politics, you know. Look, I'll show you. I'll make it easy for you. Look. Let's do a little drawing. Look, on the right, you've got nobody. Naught. I'm going to put a little naught in there. Naught. Nobody. On the left, nobody as well. Now, this is all mirrored because it's wrong the wrong way around. Now, I'm going to do you a graph. First of all, you've got to mark in your axes. Mark in your axes down there. Then you put in your percentiles. I'm going to rub that out because it's only going to confuse you. Rub that out there. Then you get your sweep, which is going to happen. And it's
Ronnie!
going to take the people... Yes?
What are you doing?
I'm explaining to these two gentlemen that, You see how simple that looks, Laura? It's rather effective, that, don't you?
Steve. 23 down. Bent wood isn't commonly a brave decoration. 3 and 5. Brave. Red Indian, decoration, war paint. No. Now, wait a minute. Warp bent isn't commonly ain't war paint. That's better.
Usual, Mr. Nightingale?
Yes, please. Bent, you see. Same as war. Isn't commonly ain't.
Sorry?
War paint. 2 cats back to back with an outsized one reciprocating.
Where?
Staccato! I like it. Staccato! What?
Poor soul, dear. Can't communicate.
I don't think I can. Now, look, dear, there are people who need serving. You are supposed to be the landlord, aren't you?
Look, dear, there's more to be a landlord than just serving drinks, you know. A landlord must be a comrade, a comforter, a comedian, a head, a shoulder, a smile, a sympathy, even a tear, Laura.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, she must understand that.
Good evening, sir.
No trouble.
Oh, no trouble. I just popped in to apologise.
Yes?
Well, I believe I was somewhat offensive to your good self on my last visit to this hostelry.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, yes, I overstepped the mark. And I want to humbly apologise to yourself and your missus, God bless her. With her hair the colour of Connemara corn and her eyes twinkling like the brook at Ballymurphy in the rays of the sun.
That's very nice.
Yes, I made it up myself.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, I must admit you were a little bit of a nuisance, you know, you,
And what way exactly?
Well, you threatened me, you know. Oh, you did, yes, and you called me a BAS, etc., etc., etc. And, generally made a nuisance of yourself.
But it didn't mean any harm.
No, well, that's as maybe, but when you come into
Well, if a man can't come into a boozer without people objecting to his very presence...
Now you're starting again.
I'm starting again, you bloody English mannequin. I'll wipe the bar with you.
Steve!
Hey, God knows I love the little people. But if I get my hands on you, I'll take it all over your teeth.
Just a minute, Steve!
Oh, come along, Dad.
Mrs. He malign me. I'll lead him and spit out the pits.
Come on, that's enough.
Oh, you remind me of my sainted mother.
Yes.
But he reminds me of my father. The bastard.
Oh.
Come on.
I'll do it, Laura. Out.
I'm sorry about this, Mrs. And you with the heir of St. Teresa.
Come on.
I don't like that bastard.
Oh, come on, now, off you go.
Oh, Mrs. Broke the mould after they made you.
Yes, very likely. Now, off you go.
Just needs a firm hand, that's all, Laura.
Right.
Yes. Oh, dear, it's just a knack, really. Part of the function, the major part of the function, Laura, of a landlord is to create an ambience within which the customers can feel free to enjoy intercourse.
What?
Social, dear, social. Social intercourse, dear. It builds up clientele. That's what we're doing.
Well, would you mind indulging in a little social intercourse with that man there, and while you're at it, sell him a drink?
Oh, there's Ronnie shot down in flames. Oscar Wilde in a bra.
Oh, get on with it.
Good evening, sir, and what would your pleasure be?
Pint, please.
A pint. A pint. And so it shall be, a pint. As the bishop said. A lovely pint. You on your way home, or are you local, or are you just having a little wander around there? Little snort on the way home. Oh, little snort indeed. There we are, sir. That'll be 20p. Awful, isn't it? Awful. 20p. Awful. Da-da-dee. Still, not to worry. Cheer yourself up. Oh, dear. Weather's awful, isn't it? Awful weather. Awful. Still, it's not raining in here anyway. No, wait a minute. No, it's not. Ah, dear, dear, dear. You heard the one about the Irishman who went into the restaurant and ordered a meal, sneaked out without eating it? Ah, dear, dear, dear. It's not a very easy story to tell, that. You know, you're always tempted to say sneaked out without paying for it, of course, which isn't as funny as the original way, you know, you say it. Sneaked out without eating it. 2 giraffes, you know, went into an Irish supermarket, and one said to the other...
I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood.
I'm awfully sorry. I'm awfully sorry. I don't know what came over me talking like this. I'm not normally like this. Good heavens. Goodness, no. Don't normally intrude. All I can say is, will you accept my humblest apologies?
Look, I'm sorry. I've had a bit of a day.
Yes, I'm sorry. I've had a bit of a day, too. Do you mind if I join you? Little half, I shall have. Had a bit of a day, have you? Oh, dear. Oh, dear, I've had a bit of a day, too, I'll tell you that. The wife. Oh, dear. Well, I'll be honest with you. We've just taken over this place, and she's got a bit excited by it all. And it's just been too much for her. Job's too much. Pressing down her all the time, you know what it's like. 3 guesses who gets the blame, who gets it in the neck. Still, bless them, women. We wouldn't be without them, would we? Oh, dear. You married?
Yeah.
Oh, dear, 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 dear. Trouble with the wife?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Gone back to mother, has she? I know too well. 'Twas ever thus. She'll be back again.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't think she will be back again? Oh, I see. Better off without her, really, Paulie, in many ways. Better off on your own. See, you've cheered up already. Telling somebody about your problems, get it off your chest, make you feel much happier. Come on, have a drink on the house. You have a scotch.
Well, thanks.
Goodness me. Have this one on me.
Oh, thank you.
Glad you're feeling better. Things you hear behind this bar.
But you're new here, aren't you?
Oh, here, yes, but I just mean behind bars, you know. More to being a landlord than selling drinks, you know.
There's giving them away.
A landlord has to be a shoulder, an arm, a mouth. Well, perhaps not a mouth, but, well, in some cases, a mouth. Laura, please, not the customers there. Don't carry on.
Oh, what are you doing? Giving away free drinks?
It's business, dear.
But exactly, selling drinks.
Look, he may look just an ordinary customer, but he came in here rather depressed and rather sad. I've had a little chat, he's feeling ever so much better, and he's a customer now for life.
He's gone.
Don't talk. Bloody hell, where's he? No, he's on the phone, dear. A regular customer now, you see. His wife's left him, you know. She's run back to mother, you know.
I don't think you should interfere, dear.
He wanted me to, dear. Look, we would be failing, dear, in our jobs as landlords and ladies.
And gentlemen.
No, we would be failing in our jobs if we did not proffer a hand, an arm.
A leg, a nose, a big toe.
Being a little bit stupid, dear, and it's not like you.
I am being stupid. You started all this ear, nose, and throat rubbish. Now, will you please get on and sell some drinks?
Keep your voice down, woman.
Oh, don't be so pompous.
Hello.
That the wife?
No, actually, yes.
You having a bit of a ding-dong? Oh, so you're in the doghouse as well?
Was that all because you were talking to me?
I'm sorry, I'm sounding a bit like you.
I was ringing the wife just now.
She back home yet?
What?
Well, you said she'd run off to her mother's.
No, it was me that left.
Oh.
I couldn't stand all the bitching.
Snap.
She's got it into her head that... You see, I've been working very hard recently.
Yeah.
You know, late home, bringing work back home, off early in the morning. And she's convinced herself that I'm on the blag.
Oh. On the blag, eh?
Yeah.
Jolly old blag. What sort of blag would this be?
A bit on the side, having it off.
Oh, good heavens,
Linda, my secretary.
Yes.
She's a lovely girl. There's nothing in it.
No.
But Alison, that's my wife, she's decided that we're at it like knives.
Oh, good heavens, goodness me. Blagging like knives, would you believe it?
Absolute fantasy. Mind you, Linda's built. I mean, she's gorgeous. You know, I wouldn't say no. But I mean, it's unjust, because I'm not.
Quite. Well, what makes her think that you are on the...
Blag.
The blag.
Oh, some idiot from the office rang me at home. I was out, and he made some remark about Linda in fun, you know. Joke, you know. Oh, he's probably around at Linda's. Oops, sorry. Oh. And that was it. She's had it in for me ever since. I can't do a thing right. So, out. Still, she seems to cool down a bit. She'll be in here in a minute.
Well, you've done nothing wrong, matey, have you? Let's face it, I mean. Not a blag in sight. Wouldn't let that sort of thing start. I should snap on that straight away. I mean, oh, dear, yes, I've got to watch that. I mean, now, my missus, she nags me a bit about work. Doesn't matter. Just let it, you know, run off like water off a duck's thing. But, I mean, if there's any malarkey at home, viz. The extramural blag, then I'm afraid no chance. I have to say, Laura.
Yes,
I have to say, madam, I am not tolerating it. It's a scotch, isn't it, you're having?
What's he been telling you?
Oh, nothing really, just...
Bit of man-to-man.
Sorry.
Oh, that's...
What are you doing? Will you please help Steve?
Look, dear, this is much more important.
Oh, what is?
People, dear, people. He's in trouble, don't you understand? His wife. Gone a bit funny. You know the way they do. Well, not all of them, not you, naturally, but some of them do. He's been working late at the office. There's this very attractive girl, Linda, and his wife now happens to be insanely jealous. He's told me all about it.
Obviously. Why not tell the whole pub?
Oh, Alison.
Oh, Ronnie.
Oh, God. Look,
Alison, I was only talking to... I didn't tell him anything. Thank you very much.
not at all. Is she feeling much better now?
Why don't you have a drink? No. Yes, come on. You come and sit down here and I'll get you a drink. She'll be all right. A nose, an ear, and a great big mouth. I shall talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll get those.
All right, thank you. Steve, would you get me 2 more scotches, please? I shan't be serving for a moment.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm awfully sorry about this. I didn't realise.
Don't forget it. It's not your fault.
No, I know that. I mean, one is not made of wood, you know. Sit down there. There we are.
Thanks.
Thank you, Steve.
Coming up.
Oh, dear.
Your change, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Nice lad, Steve. Thinks the world of me. Oh, it'll be all right. Laura will have a little chat to her, and I'm sure it'll all sort itself out. Laura's my wife, sorry. Laura's my wife. My name's Ronald.
Hello.
Ronnie. Ron. Sorry, your name is...
Martin.
Martin. Mart. Sorry, Martin, your wife's name was,
Alison.
Alison. She's probably a little bit, you know, highly strung. Overstrung. Little bit highly wrought. Little bit, you know, finely tuned, she probably is. One can be finely tuned and highly wrought. She'll be all right. I know she'll be all right, because Laura will chat to her, and the whole thing will be over in 2 shakes of a lamb's thing. I mean, goodness me, Laura and I have had our altercations and our ups and downs. But then, of course, we've been married for 7 years. Oh, a long time, you know.
Any children?
And, pardon?
Have you any children?
No.
No, neither have we.
We could have.
Oh, so can we.
Clinic.
Yes.
Bit of a pantomime, isn't it? Bit embarrassing.
Oh, yes.
I was at a loss. I mean, you know, it's all very well them expecting you to do what they do expect you to do at the drop of a hat. That's, I mean, not a rather silly way of putting it, but I mean, there I was at the aforementioned loss. And they showed me a faded picture of Betty Grable.
Betty and Clark right up in the eaves. I did that ages ago.
I'll bet you did. No, the most important thing is that Laura and I do love each other, you know. I mean, I love and respect her, and she in her turn loves and respects me.
I'll murder him one of these days. Silly fool, really.
Oh, it's all right. I don't want to get him into trouble.
Oh, you don't have to, my dear. He does very well by himself. Oh, I'm sorry he was so indiscreet, but, I mean, obviously we won't breathe a word to a soul.
I know you won't. I'm sure there's nothing in it with this girl, but... Well, you see, he told me he'd be working late.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I rang the office, they said he'd left at 5. So then he comes home at 8, smelling of lilacs. Told me it was the fresh air spray from the office loo. Actually, I'm sure it was. Any girl who wore that would keep any man at a distance.
Well, where had he been?
Oh, he was working late. He was in the manager's office and the girl didn't put me through. So he says. And I'm sure he was. I think he was telling me the truth. Anyway, when he came home, I threw some burned shepherd's pie at him. It all started from there.
It would.
Oh, I feel such a fool. We shouldn't be having these rows.
Oh, everybody does it. It's perfectly natural. I mean, I once threw an omelette at Ronnie.
Good gracious.
And he stood there with it on his head and said there is no need to be sarcastic. And we laughed so much we forgot what we were arguing about.
Do you worry about him?
Oh, all the time. He fell down the cellar 3 times yesterday.
No, I meant other women. Do you think he tells the truth?
Well, as I really know exactly what he's talking about anyway, it's a bit hard to tell. No, seriously. He's no good at telling lies. I always catch him at it. And when he's not telling the truth, he takes his glasses off. Would you like another drink?
Oh, thank you.
Watch this.
So I said to her, Madam, any more of that, it'll be trouble.
Talking about me, dear?
No, dear, I'm talking about the cleaning lady who comes in.
No, when?
Shepherd's pie? Good Lord.
The thing is, I did actually take Linda out for a drink after work, because she'd been such a help. But I couldn't tell Alison that.
Why not? I tell Laura everything. Honestly, I can safely say that I have never told Laura a lie in my life. Now, there we are. Now, that is built on trust. I remember years ago I attended a sales conference. I think it was in Norfolk in a hotel. You know what that can be like there for the week. Secretaries in the bar in the evening. Chat. Up to the room for a nightcap. And it's wallop Mrs. Cox.
Who's Mrs. Cox?
Dear, it's a figure of speech as being purely hypothetical. Look, I've told you everything there is to be told about Norfolk. Will you carry on?
You've taken your glasses off.
What are you going on about, Laura? Honestly. Will you carry on? You think I was blagging everything in a skirt? Laura, I have absolutely nothing to hide. You know that.
Perhaps I got it the wrong way round.
What was all that about? His glasses were on and off a few times.
No, I think I must have been wrong about that. No, he's all right. No, it's best to let him think he's the boss.
I mean, it's best to let her think she's the boss, really. They like to think they're running your life, so you just let them get on with it. So my advice, really, in the end to you, is to be quite frank with Alison. Tell her everything about Linda, the drinks and everything. Clean slate, new sheet.
She'd blow a top. What's Ronnie trying to do? Break up this fella's marriage?
I think he's right.
Oh, that's probably because you haven't got anything to tell your wife.
No, no.
Oh, you have got something to tell her and you haven't told her.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
Look, here she comes now. You tell her, and I promise you it'll all work. There we go.
Hello.
Hello, dear.
Go on, go on.
Sorry.
I think everything's going to be all right now, dear.
There's more to being a landlord, Laura.
Oh, not now, dear, please.
Go on, tell her.
Tell me what?
Well, you know, tonight.
Yes?
Well...
Go on, go on, go on.
No, leave it, leave it, leave it.
No, no, go on, go on, go on.
What is going on?
You see, dear. Go on.
Well, I did work late, but what I didn't tell you, nothing happened.
What?
Well, Linda had been working very hard.
Yes?
And we finished at 6:30, and she'd been such a help, I took her out for a drink.
For 2 hours?
Well, we had a chat, and then we couldn't find a taxi.
We?
Well, I was trying to get her one.
I knew it. Where was this drink? What pub?
Well, the one on the corner. You know, I don't know the name.
I see. So it was all having a drink and chats and looking for taxis outside this pub with no name.
You're twisting everything again.
Linda, nothing but a cheap tart.
She is not. She's a very nice girl, very understanding.
I bet she is. Oh, I can see it all now. I must have been blind.
Oh, come on.
Don't you touch me. Go and touch Linda.
Another Corbett triumph?
Oh, shut up.
And while we're on the subject, what about North?
Don't be silly, dear.
I knew it, I knew it.
And you can shut up as well. Look, Laura, I have told you everything there is to be told about.
Oh, yes?
If I may say so, I think your husband should be praised for his honesty, madam.
Oh, do you really? Don't mind me. I'm just being insanely jealous.
Yes, you are.
Oh, shut up,
Stop
dear.
telling me to shut up.
Madam, if he'd kept his mouth shut, you'd have been none the wiser.
There is no justification for dishonesty. That's what's wrong with the world.
Oh, I say we are coming up with some statements. Are you going to try and tell me the
Look,
communists...
can't you see that?
Well, it's more on...
Look, this is what I've been all about here. I don't want to...
Every time
You lot make me sick.
I think that you should probably...
Be quiet. You said enough for one night, it seems to me.
I beg your pardon?
So he stayed in a hotel in Norfolk, did he? Oh, what a tragedy. You must part at once. Grow up. And you're as bad as she is. I was as stupid as you once. And what's it got me? 20 lonely years and about 5,000 pink gins. Well, your husband may be a bit wet, but he's better than nothing.
I say, look here, madam, you...
And you get on then with your silly, jokey politics. Good heavens, I've been bored rigid listening to your juvenile drivel.
Here, here.
And that goes for you as well. If you could only see yourselves, get on with living.
What an extraordinary woman.
It's a bit of a nutter.
There's no need for that, is there?
Oh, she didn't even make sense.
We'll have to keep an eye open for her, dear.
Certain lack of communication there, I think. Well, I think we all deserve a drink.
Oh, I
No, no, my round,
Let
Ronnie.
me.
No, let us get them.
Well,
On the house.
what? Yes, on the house.
Oh, very kind. Yes, quick one.
Well, Laura, do you still think I was wrong to interfere?
Welcome back.
Steve, always remember, there is more to being a publican than simply serving drinks. A provider of victuals. You must learn how to handle people, how to communicate with people.
Good evening, sir.
Steve, would you carry on, please?